Welcome, friends. Fred Arnold here with Success Stories. I'm here with Ken Keller. Ken Keller is the owner of Strategic Advisory Boards. A guru when it comes to executive coaching, business coaching, strategic coaching. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
Love that. And I want to talk to you right away about you go in, CEO or entrepreneur seeking your advice. What are some of the biggest challenges you run into immediately, whether it's a big firm, small firm, whether it's in one industry or another, some of the challenges that your executives face?
Fred, thanks for allowing me to be here. I'm delighted and honored. I would say the first thing that I would ask is, do you have a written business plan for this year? And the answer is usually no. In fact, 75% of all businesses do not have a business plan. And
That's a big number.
That is huge. It's huge. Now, if you ask the owner, do you have a written plan? No, I don't have a written plan. It's in my head. Okay, well, how many beers did you have last night? Because half the plan just disappeared.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that I ask. Then I ask, when was the last time you gave performance evaluations to your direct reports?
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of look and go, well, I really don't do that. I tell them they're doing a good job. Or when they're not doing a good job, I tell them that. And I'm thinking, okay, there's a little bit of work we need to do here. Then the third thing I always ask is, are you satisfied with the profits that you're generating? And the answer is always no.
Or else they wouldn't have called you in typically.
That's right.
When they're rolling in the money, they don't call you.
Exactly. Yes. Big revenue and big profits hide a lot of problems.
Yeah. Let's talk about the business plan then. We just went through a process with you evaluating or doing our business plan. And it wasn't scary or hard. It was pretty simple. Tell me about how your approach is in that simplicity of breaking down goals, daily activities, the whole bit.
Okay, so I use a one-page business plan.
And I love that.
Okay.
Now it might have some supporting pages on actions.
Right.
But
yeah, I kind of boiled it down for the group that we had in the training room. But we start with leading indicators. What are your leading indicators? If you do these things, then the revenue flows and then the profits flow. So that's the first thing we work on is leading indicators. Then we work on the financial plan. And most business owners, they have QuickBooks or whatever, and we simply take what they did last year and plop that down, and then we talk about what kind of growth do you want. 10%, 15%, and then we can kind of play with the numbers there. So we have leading indicators on top, then the financial plan, and then down below, it's the strategy piece. So what are your top goals for the year? Pick 3. And then what are you going to do in the first half and the second half to make sure that those goals are accomplished? We also talk about what kind of cash flow improvements would you like to make? What would you like to do with your balance sheet? What would you like to do with your revenue? Do you have enough of the right clients? If not, what's your prospect list look like? And then we also do a SWOT analysis. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your threats? What are your opportunities? And then 2 more things at the very bottom. The first thing is, what's the one thing that has to happen this year for your company to be successful? Just one thing. Remember that movie with Billy Crystal?
Mm-hmm. The one thing.
The one thing.
The old guys.
Slickers.
They're riding on the horse's neck. What's the one thing?
Yes, the City Slickers. So what is the one thing? And then also, what does work-life balance look like to you? And for a lot of people that have their own companies, it's like, well, I work 24/7. I don't even take time off for vacation. I try to say, is there a time that you could leave the office every day? 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever it is, can you stick to that? And the reason that I say that is because if you stick to that time and you honor it, you will get a lot more done because you don't have an open-ended
You're not open in a day.
No, yeah, it's like, okay, it's 5 o'clock, I'm going home.
It's kind of like when you're getting ready to go on vacation, that big
Yes.
10-day vacation, you get everything done because you have to get it done.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So those are the kind of things we work on the one-page plan.
I really love all that because I'm a big believer, and you talked about number 2, which is your evaluations. If you have a plan in place, I think a lot of people, they mean well. They're very good employees. They just need guidance.
Yes.
And they need structure a lot of times.
Yes.
And they need to know what's in that brain of yours so they can execute.
That's right.
And so I have found in the past, and I'd like you to expand upon this, that when you can share what your goals are and how they can help you execute the goal. Because I think it's the execution that gives you the success.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
And typically an entrepreneur, a CEO, a VP, a sales manager really is not good at execution. They're good at the strategy. And if you can get others on your team through evaluations to help you execute, you can have great success. I found in the past that if I could just show my team what to do and get out of the way and then monitor it, it happens. What's your thoughts on execution and where sometimes we fail at execution because we're the wrong persons to be executing it?
Well, I agree. Leadership should not be executing. The management team and the staff need to be the ones taking care of business. So many years ago, I heard about a company in Chicago. They were meat, poultry, seafood distributor. And so they had a daily meeting every morning at 7. And the CEO had his salespeople around and said, how much chicken are you going to sell today? How much beef are you going to sell today? How much seafood you're going to sell today? And whatever they said, he wrote it on the whiteboard. 5 o'clock, they had a meeting. How much chicken did you sell? How much beef did you sell? How much seafood did you sell? Now, it was a little harsh, but it was an accountability system. What I tell my clients, you need to have a daily huddle. It doesn't have to be long. You don't want to be sitting around a table. It can be a stand-up meeting. Okay, what are we going to accomplish today? What help do you need? And if there's an issue that comes up, we'll take it offline. But a daily huddle. I mean, I go back to, we just had the Super Bowl, and each team has a huddle.
Every play.
Every play. They have and if they are in a hurry up, they call 2 plays. And then they execute, The daily huddle is one of the most valuable tools a company can have. The other tool is a checklist. Checklist to do this, checklist to do that. The airlines use those. That's why we're able to fly safely, because they have a checklist. Same thing with our spaceships. If you watch the movie Apollo 13, they go through the checklist on their way to return to Earth. These are just 2, and they don't have to be long and drawn out things. They can be very simple, but they are effective.
Yeah, and the entrepreneur or the individual strategically thinking about these things is usually not a checklist type of person.
Agreed. Agreed. They don't have to be. They can just verbalize, what does this task look like to end successfully?
Yeah.
Oh, well, this, then this, then this. Somebody can write it down. Somebody can print it out. Clipboards are very crucial if you have a business like this, where people can check it off and get things signed off, approved, or verified. I'm a big Ronald Reagan fan. What was his big sign? Trust, but verify.
Yeah.
And verification is not punishment. We have kids. They go to school. What does the teacher want? Give me your homework in the morning. And they check to make sure every kid's turned it in. If they don't, Johnny, where's your homework?
Yeah.
The dog ate it.
Yeah.
Let's talk to your mom at the lunch break.
Yeah.
So,
Why is it Johnny that always gets picked on?
well, because
right?
Johnny
Because Johnny's the one who didn't do it.
Yeah, he can't read sometimes.
It might have been me when I was younger. Let's talk about evaluations.
Okay.
Valuations nowadays, sometimes they could be destructive because of the fear around it.
Yes.
The fear around it. How do you approach evaluations when maybe there was a previous culture of that perception around it?
Well, I refer back to the blood work that I have done. And when I get the test results back from the lab, it's red, yellow, green. So red is obviously bad news. Yellow is okay, you need to work on that, and green is you're good. And of course, that's very simplistic. But I think the person doing the evaluation needs to be fair and honest and say, look, you got this item in red. We're not happy with what's going on. You're not happy with what's going on. You're probably frustrated. Is this something that you're not interested in? Something you don't want to learn? Something you can't do? Is there something that tools or resources that we can use to help you? Or should we take that off your responsibility list and give it to somebody else? Oh, geez, I hadn't thought about that. Well, I want you to think about that because we can't have this individual, this position, doing work when the rating is red. The yellow, we put together a performance improvement plan. And green, of course, keep doing just what you're doing. So that's how I look at it. But yes, you're right. Evaluations can be considered punitive. They're not. They're supposed to be, and by the way, we both like baseball. Every baseball player goes up to bat and all of his stats are up on the
Yes,
scoreboard.
right.
He gets an evaluation every time he walks up to the plate.
Oh man, how many errors they commit?
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. And I think as leaders, sometimes we fail to give feedback so that others can succeed. And I think that could be a failure upon us as leaders and how we need to really focus and approach evaluations.
Agreed.
And I think it's on us. And sometimes, I find that it's on me. You didn't accomplish this because I didn't perhaps give you the instructions, give you the resources, give you the tools
Yes.
on how to get it done.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The key to all that is, of course, communication.
Yeah. I love that. And of course, it all leads to profits. I like the exercise. Sometimes it's what do you need to continue doing?
Yes.
What do you need to stop doing? And what do you need to start doing?
Yes.
Let's talk about that one I mentioned second, which is what do you need to stop doing?
That's a hard one. Through the years in my retreats, I can't tell you how many of the participants wrote on their stop list, stop watching so much TV.
Oh, yeah. Well, now it's scrolling.
Or scrolling.
So you know,
Yeah.
You do Facebook and
Yeah.
Scrolling
Yes.
because it's so entertaining. You laugh for a quick second.
Yeah.
It's 8 seconds long. Maybe sometimes it's 25 seconds long. And it gives you that dopamine hit.
Yes.
And before you know it, you're 30 minutes done.
Yeah. My wife even says, I sat down to check the news and half an hour later I look up and like, oh my gosh, I got all this stuff to do at home.
Yeah.
So I think you have to be honest with yourself on the stop doing list.
Yeah.
You just have to be honest. And it's like giving up drinking, giving up smoking, giving up gambling, giving up driving too fast on the highway.
Giving up looking at your phone while you're driving?
Yeah, that's what.
Right?
Yeah.
That's probably the most dangerous thing you could do.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think you just have to, what do they say? Most to solving a problem is identifying the problem.
Yeah.
And being honest with yourself.
I'll be open and authentic on this. I'd find myself like the last person scrolling. I hadn't discovered scrolling like everybody had, and I finally discovered it, and I'm like, oh, there's some pretty fun stuff. So I noticed I was doing it, so I purposely started thumbing things I liked and things I liked that were motivational.
Okay.
And my hack was, if I'm going to get stuck for 15 minutes scrolling, I want to see Brian Tracy. I want to see ideas on how to be a better a man, how to be a better partner, how to be a better business person. Now, with it is ads you get, right, to sell you
Yes,
something.
of course.
But that was my one hack. My one hack was, okay, if I'm going to get stuck doing this, and the other hack was I took Facebook and social media off my iPad.
Okay.
So, it's on my phone because I use it a lot for work, but at least I making it more difficult. It's like taking the cookies, out of the house so you
Yes.
don't eat cookies.
Yes, I understand.
It's sometimes hacks are the best thing you could do to get through it.
I'll tell you something my dad did in the 70s. He would go grocery shopping and he would always buy cookies. And I remember one of my younger brothers saying to him, "How come we don't have any cookies? You go to the grocery store, we don't have any cookies." My dad said, "No, there's cookies there. Just Fig Newtons. I don't like Fig Newtons." My dad said, "Well, I bought them. I like them." So, yes, we do have cookies.
But they're fig Newtons.
So, did he keep the kids from eating cookies? Yes, they did, because they didn't like Fig Newtons.
And they weren't all gone.
Exactly.
That was his hack. All right, I'm going to rapid fire some questions for you.
Sure.
The last half of the show, and that is, when I say the word success, what do you think of? What does it mean to you?
Well, my success is helping others succeed. So when I see smiles on people's faces, when they share their successes with me, like happened just yesterday in our mastermind group, that just made me feel really, really good. So oftentimes we measure success by revenue, profit, paycheck size, bonus checks, whatever. The older I get, the more I realize you just have to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's success. So you wake up in the morning, you're not dreading going to work. You have some mission and you fulfill it. You take care of your family, you take care of your friends. That's success.
Yeah. Tell me about when you've had success in the past. And I found that when I've had true success in the past, it was more of a feeling than it was a number or a conquering.
Yes, I agree.
No.
Because we want to feel happy. And we don't do it with artificial things like drugs or alcohol, that kind of thing. So, success kind of comes from within.
Yeah.
And you know what success is.
Yeah. And that inner feeling. Excellence. What do you, when I say excellence, what does excellence mean?
Where you finish your job and you don't have any regrets. Hey, I did the best I could today. Tomorrow I'll try to do better.
Yeah. What do they say? Regret? There's a big saying on it. Oh, I should have written it down. Regret is one the fear of regret is so much greater than the fear of failure.
Yes,
right?
I would agree.
Yeah,
I would agree. And so when we at the end of our life, we're going to look back, and we're going to say, well, I did this, I did that, but I didn't do this, that, and the other thing. Yeah. That's the regret.
Yeah, that's the regret.
I actually had a client that said to me at one point, he said to his peer group, "I want to live a life without regret." And I thought that was rather hedonistic. He was a single guy, wasn't quite sure what he meant. He said, "I just don't want to have any regrets. I want to live my life the way God intended us to live it."
Yeah, and the way He interprets that.
Yes,
because it means so many different things to so many different people. When I share the word failure, failure's a negative connotation to many. What does it mean to you, and how do you interpret it, and how do you see failure?
Well, nobody likes failure. I think it's probably best if individuals recognize that something isn't going to work and stop doing it as soon as they figure that out. We have a thing in America, this culture is all about, persevere, stick it out, you can do it. And that's true. I mean, I think that's true. But there are things that happen in our lives that just don't allow us to succeed. So failure is a tough one. I was telling Josh earlier, I've got a fair number of challenges and obstacles throughout my life. And I always wake up in the morning and say, okay, very simply, I'm not any worse than I was yesterday, and I have the opportunity to do better. So I think the whole failure thing is in your head, but you have to recognize, you know what, this just isn't going to work sometimes.
And I think that there's a big thing with failing forward. When I say failing forward, how does that look to you?
Well, I think that we just need to always be moving forward, and sometimes we're going to stumble, sometimes we're going to fall, but we just need to keep moving forward. And I'm not afraid to share with you both that I've a two-time cancer survivor, and this is 10 years since I was first diagnosed. I knew that I would get through it. I just knew, but I wasn't sure about the journey. And there were good days and bad days, mostly related to the fact that the cure for cancer is sometimes more harsh than anything else.
That's what I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got through two of those 9-round prize fights, and I'm successful. But there were days when I just like, okay, and then I'd say, okay, one breath at a time, one step at a time.
Yeah.
You can get through this.
Yeah. When I'm at mile, I guess it would be mile 135 in an Ironman competition, and you've done all the disciplines, sometimes it's the next step.
Yes.
Not falling, not tripping,
Right.
because you're going to be hard time getting up after,
Exactly.
8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, whatever. Actually, no, excuse me, 11, 11, 12 hours. Last one. When I say love, what does that mean to you?
Well, I love a lot of people
Yeah.
in my circle, in my life. Love to me, and I've been married 35 years, coming up on 36, is putting the needs of the other one first. So, for example, Thursday is a Blue Barrel Day at our house. So I just tell my wife, I'll take out the barrels. Rain or shine, dark, cold, windy, whatever, I will be the one to take the barrels out.
Yeah.
Just don't worry about that. Because it's only two of us now. Either she does it or I do it, and I'd rather I do it.
Right.
To make her life easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because you can love a lot of things. You can love people. You can love your or have passion for your job.
Yes. Yes.
You can love different aspects. You can love money.
Yes.
Right. And so it means so many different things to so many different people. Ken, how can those reach out to you? I know we're going to host a coming up every month, a mastermind here at 360 Suites where you're going to lead us. But those who want to reach out to you and hire you as a consultant or strategic advisory to people's boards or a business coach, how can they get you?
The best thing to do, Fred, is go to my website, strategicadvisoryboards.com, and book a time for me to meet with you.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to do that. It's all connected to Zoom. So you make the appointment, and we got a Zoom, and we'll talk.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks for all you've done for 360 Suites, American Family Funding, all my organizations, and I hope you enjoyed this little group of success stories. And we'll talk to you next time.